Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. I shared it on my blog the other day and I was requested to do a video. My inspiration came from Gilly Hunt, who I swapped this with when we went to the Stampin' Up on Stage convention about 3 weeks ago. Gilly's made her Christmas tree like a tree decoration, so you just hang it on like that. And she's actually put the trunk on the tree as well, which I haven't done. But if you feel that you would like that, then obviously that's just an oblong. I think that's copper foil paper that Gilly's doing. Yes, because it matches the star there. And if you want to check Gilly's website out, it's www.gillyhunt.com, and Gilly is spelt with a G. So this one, with Gilly, she did hers with 3 sections. Mine I did with 4 sections, and this morning I did one that's got 5 sections on. So I'm going to do the 5 section one for the video. And at the end of the video I'm also going to show you how I made this one as well, which is a Christmas tree ornament, but with the 4 sections on it, and also with 4 at the back as well. Okay, that's what it looks like at the bottom. They are very easy to make but fiddly. So to start off with the card pieces you're going to be needing. Now I've already done 3 of those. I've left the largest one and the smallest one to do with you. So card pieces that you're going to be needing are a garden green card base, which measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 21 by 14.5 centimetres, scored and folded in half. And then you need 2 pieces of Whisper White Cardstock, which measure 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches, or 10 by 14 centimetres. And then you need 2 pieces of Garden Green, which measure 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches, which is 9.7 by 13.7 centimetres. And then you need 5 pieces of Designer Series paper. This one I'm using is called Toile Christmas, and that is vanilla in there. So I should be using vanilla in here, but my embossing powder is Whisper White, so I'm going to stick with the Whisper White there and just accept the vanilla like a different colour if you like. So I think what we do first is the heat embossing. So I'm going to, on the one on the inside, I'm going to use my embossing buddy across the top and the bottom, and on this one I need the 4 corners and across the base. Okay, so that's the 2 corners and the base for this one, and for the one inside it's this. Okay, and the stamp set I'm using is called Most Wonderful Time, and I'm using Oh Christmas Tree and that, which as soon as I saw it I just saw a corner stamp. It's not perfectly a right angle there, but I'm sure that's what it was planned as, and it has worked really well. I like the look of it. So first of all I'm going to do the sheet for the outside, and I'm using Versamark. And I just pop this in the centre of my grid paper, and that's about right, so that I can get this approximately in the centre. Excuse me if my head's in the camera. I'll just try and make sure I get this straight. That looks good. And now this one, because there is only one side of it that looks straight, when you stamp, make a note of how much gap you've got on that side, because when you come round this side the straight bit comes round, so you want the same gap here, and then when it comes around here, the same gap this side, and then that side. Alright, let's do this side first, okay? Make sure I've got enough ink on there. I suspect that my Versamark pad is a little bit dry. Let's do that one. Oops, don't do that. And then this one. Right, I'm going to put the embossing powder on that first before I go on to the next one. I keep mine in a big box, so all I need to do is that. Let's give it a bit of time to grab some embossing powder, so that's okay. That's good. Okay, there's enough powder on there. I'll pop that there while I stamp the second one. Now this one I'm going to use the opposite side. That's the corner bit. I'm going to use the opposite side and go along there and along the bottom, and that's how I got my pattern. And again, I'm positioning my cardstock in the middle, so I can do my first one there. Move that over a bit, and then my first one down this side on the bottom. I finish up with 2 halves on either end, which suggests I could get 4 decorations all the way across, but I prefer to have the one in the middle. And then one at the end there. Come down a bit, I can't see that. This is a great little stamp. I can certainly see me using this again. It just makes such a delightful little pattern. Oh, I didn't tell you the sizes of the designer series paper, did I? This is take 2, so it's very difficult to remember what I've said in the first one, and then I think, oh, did I say that here, or did I say it on the other one? But I know that I didn't give you the sizes, so I'll go back and do that in just a jiffy. Move that out of the way. I've got a little bit there, but I've got my brush, a really soft paintbrush here that gets any stray bits. Okay, so that's all right. Let me just heat emboss these and I'll come back to the designer series paper, sizes that you need. So it's been noisy for a little while. I really enjoy the magic of watching this powder get transformed. that's one piece. There we go. Yep, I think that's all. Yep, that's good. Right, that can go there. Now, the sizes of the cardstock, the design series paper. Now you need 5 squares. This card I did 5 squares, and this card I did 4 squares, and Julie did 3 on hers. Now I know they say you should use an odd number, but I think the 4 works well. But it's 5 that I'm going to do for this card. So the sizes that you're going to need is 3.5 inch square, 2.5 inch square, 2 inch square, 1.5 inch square. Did I say that right? 3.5, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5. Now in metric, if I convert that literally, I come up with 3.8, 5, 6.2, 7.4 and 8.6. But logic tells me I would have thought you could use 4 centimetres, 5 centimetres, 6 centimetres, 7 centimetres and 8 centimetres, because at least you've got the same gap between them. But I'm not an expert on centimetres, and I will leave that entirely up to you to decide what you think it should be. Right, so how do you fold these? First of all, fold in half, that way, making sure all your edges line up. Now this is designer series paper, and if you burnish it too much, it will crack. So to avoid that, try not going over the same places twice. And the bit that's at most risk is this centre here. Okay, so I only go over it once at the end, or at least only try and go over once at the end. Okay, so now fold it diagonally, and again just burnish it, but don't go right over the centre bit there. Open it and fold diagonally in the other direction. Okay, so you should finish up with a multiplication sign and also a plus sign as well. Yeah, you can just about work that one out, can't you? Okay, so what you need to do now is to fold it in half, and this straight line here, you need to push it down towards the inside, and when you're doing that, that diagonal line and that diagonal line need to come upwards. Okay, so the straight line goes down and these diagonals come over like that, and you can squeeze the top there so that it folds nicely. And then while you're holding this side, push that side down so it goes the same. So you finish up with a piece that looks like that. Alright, now just give that a burnish because you've folded some of the pieces in opposite directions, but I still haven't gone over this one yet. Now what you need is to put your fingernail there, and this fold here should line up with that score line down there. Now you're going to have to work out which way you find it easiest to do. There we go. So fold that down. Again, I'm still not going right up the top there. And then the other side, you've got to make this fold come along that score line there. So if you put your finger down, give it a bit of encouragement, and then gradually fold it as it goes down. And ideally the two will line up with each other. Okay, now I am going to flatten this one. Alright, and because that has not torn, I'm going to show you the little one as well, because it is fiddly. So fold that in half. Sometimes you might find it easier to hold it in the air. Sometimes you might find it easier just to rest it on your work surface. Whatever works for you. Open it up and fold it the other direction. Open it and fold it diagonally, opposite corners to each other. Open it up and then the opposite corners to each other. Didn't fold that one too well, did I? There we go. So again, fold it in half that way, and then you need that straight line going down and the two diagonal lines coming across to meet each other, and then again that straight line going down, push it in so that those two diagonals come to meet each other. Okay, let's burnish the bottom halves. Okay, so again you've got the same shape again. Alright, now you're going to use your fingernail to try and get this to come over, but this fold here lines up with that score line there. Again, I'm going to give that a fold down the bottom half, and then the same here. And hopefully they'll line up. And now my one and only time doing that top bit. Alright, so they're my 5 pieces. Now when I was working with this, I was working with a sheet of centimetres up there. Was this my piece? Yeah, I think so. Now if you want to just adhere all your pieces on there by just eyeballing it, because you're confident you can get straight lines and equal gaps, then please go for it. If you're like me, challenged as far as straight lines is concerned, this is the easiest way to do it. So first of all, you take your largest piece and you're going to line this bit up on your straight line down there. Just making sure that my silicone mat is straight against that, so that I know everything is straight. And I need to put some glue on the top of this triangle. So I use Tombow. Now, the gap between those points, that is 3 of these squares, which is why it's important for me to use this sheet again. 3 of these squares is 1.5 centimetres. Alright, okay, so that one's in place. Now this one, make sure that the split lines up with that split. Right, that's about right. now 1, 2, 3, you've got to come down quite a long way. 1, 2, 3, that's it. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, so I've got 3 squares, 1, 2, 3, that's resting on that line. And again here, 1, 2, 3, that's slightly up. Can I move you down a bit? Yes, that's it. But this is straight as well. So now I'm going to put some glue on the back of this one. And I'm going to take the next biggest square. I'm going to slide that in there. Make sure the open bit is lining up with that. Get that down onto there. And make sure this goes down to 3 squares as well, which must be that one there. Come on, down. Oops, not too far. Come back. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2. That one. Now straighten up. It's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now that bit, so just come over very slightly. Straight. Yep. There we go. Okay, so I've still got my lines all down here, and I've got my 3 gaps and 3 gaps. Put a bit more Tombow on there this time to help it move more easily. Right, 3, 1, 2, 3, down there, and straight lines. Move it over slightly. Yes, straight. And move up a bit. Yep, that's it. Oops, no, come on, come back. There we go, that's that one. If you are doing 4 sections for your tree, then allow yourself 4 squares in here rather than the 3, which would be 2 centimetres. Right, Right, if you want to make one of my Christmas trees like this, you need to follow this procedure. I've only done 4 on mine. Okay, so if you reduce the numbers, remove the biggest size. Don't try and don't try and do 5 where you want to take my biggest one off and add a smaller one on, so that you finish up with one that's just 1 inch square. Right. Again, put a good bit of glue in there so that it's very pliable for me. Make sure the lines open up. That's down to there. That goes there. That goes there. Right, straighten up a bit. That's it. Move over slightly. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Brilliant. Okay, so that's the tree for my card. Okay, like that one. Now, as I say, if you're going to make the tree, do 2 pieces like this, and at the end I'll show, because I've already made the 2 spare pieces, and I'll show you what you need to do with them. But for the time being, let's finish our card, and we're going to do that by adhering our pieces together. So for the inside of the card, that's it, this one, and I'm going to use Tombow. I would normally put my tear and tape on here, but as I was heat embossing it, I didn't know quite if the heat would damage the sticky or not. That's one. Last week I was thinking that maybe it was time for me to replace the blade in my new trimmer. I reckon that I've done over 200 cards using it, so I can't complain, it has lasted really well. But I decided to clear out the cutting channel and it's given it a whole new lease of life. So I'm still on my first cutting blade, which I think is excellent. A little while ago I said it's a shame that I didn't actually make a note of all the numbers of cuts that I'd made, but I think the number would have been far too great for me to keep track of. Right, so this is the front of my card. Oops, let's get rid of that bit now because I don't need it, do I? You can see why I anchor my pad down when I'm working. Right, here we go. Very simple card really, but it packs a punch. Okay, so there's that. Now to stick it on here, I'm just going to put glue all the way on the back. I'm not forgetting the points. Okay, then just position it where you feel that it looks best. I want to make sure that when that goes down you can still see that, and I want to be able to put a small bow up there. So I think about there is probably right. Does that look straight? Be funny, wouldn't it? Go to all that trouble and make sure my card is straight, my tree is straight, and then stick it on the card crooked. Right. So that's my card. I haven't embellished it or anything because I wasn't quite sure how what it would look like. But I think by the time you see a photograph of this on my blog on Sunday, the 1st of November, when I post the video, there'll be a photograph showing you what I've done to it. I imagine I'm going to be putting some like red berries on here. That's what I imagine that I'm going to do. If you want to flatten that a bit, what I have been doing is I've been taking some dimensionals. Take the cover off before I pick it up, and pick that up, and I am putting it inside. Let me show you first. Right, okay, you can see that inside there into the biggest gap, but just underneath where those two folds join each other, so they are half each on the dimensional. Does that make sense? I mean, on the bigger ones you could use a big dimensional. I'm just using the little ones. Okay, so I didn't mean to do that with tweezers. Right. Now, can you see how that has closed down quite a bit now? Because that's got the dimensional in that bit there. Trying to see if you can see that bit. Oh, there we go. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to do that to these others as well to get them to close down just a little bit. Chances are mine will be going into the post. So no doubt that'll do its own bit of flattening anyway. Right, let's do number 2. And I'll hold this bit down here, okay, that one, and then I can slide that in, place it on top of that open bit, which means because I've got all my open bits in a line, that is going to hold that bit down. Let's do the third one. I put that down and then put that down. The beauty of this card is it has so much dimension to it, but there is a limit to how much you want, or at least a limit to how much I want. Right, now hold that one down, put that inside and push that one down, and then one for the very top bit. Right, hold that one down. Oh, inside you go. That one may not be holding it. Oh, maybe it will. Okay, so even with me holding all of that down, you've still got all of that dimension to it. Beautiful, isn't it? The wonder of tea bag folding. Right, I'm just going to put a little bow on the top like I did this one. I'm going to try and do it a bit straighter than that though. Right, so I don't know if this ribbon is still current or not, but it's just 1/8 of an inch white ribbon. Scissors. So this is what they call the bunny ears bow. And just fold it, make sure you keep each piece of ribbon flat. There we go. So that'll be good. So let's pop that on with a glue dot. Oh, I've got them out, haven't I? Now just folding that in half on there. Okay, so that's the card. Now if you wanted to do the Christmas tree, you will have made yourself 2 of these, but just 4, like this. And I haven't folded mine down on this one. Did I decide not to do that on the Christmas tree? Yes, I decided because it's an ornament for the tree, just leave it all be. So all you need to do, oh, first of all, the ribbon, because you need something to hold it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some snail on there and put one piece up like that, bring that over. Did I fold it? Which way did I go? Yes, I did. When I say fold it, I mean twisted it like you do the Cancer bow. So you've got that sort of thing. But just make sure it is actually centre and straight, otherwise you're going to have a wonky Christmas tree. Okay, so that's on there. Now, tombow just like you put the Tombow on to stick to your card, you do the same. Make sure you get some Tombow on the ribbon as well. Now, if you have been precise about this and followed the way I've measured it on the squares, you should find it goes together beautifully. And first of all, I'm going to do the bottom one first. Just line it up like that and give it a squeeze. Then move up to the next one, and then the next one, and then the top one. Okay, you should be able to squeeze down like that to give it a good. And then what I did for the top bit, I just used one of our little clips to hold this bit to start with, to make sure that that was really close. So there you go. That's how you get your Christmas tree if you're not in the mood for making cards. Let me show you that one because that's all done much better. Okay, and you can see by the way the amount it's standing out that I haven't tried gluing these bits down. You could do if you wanted to, but I thought it was lovely how it was. So there we go. That's today's project. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I really hope you give it a try. It is fiddly, I'll put my hand up to that one, but definitely well worth the effort, and well worth the effort if you do these as well. So a very big thank you to Julie Hunt for her swap. As you can see, it really did inspire me. And if you have any questions or comments to make, please leave them in the box below the video. You need to be watching the video on YouTube to access the box below. If you're and it depends on which device you're on, what you'll see. If you're on a laptop, you'll see on the left hand side underneath some writing, show more, so click on that and it'll open up the box. If you're on something like a mobile phone, there'll be down arrows on your right hand side, so click on that and it'll open the box up. Also in the box there will be all of the measurements, both metric and in inches, all the products that I've used. There'll be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. If you want to place an order, the December hostess code is this. If you add that to your order at the end of December or beginning of January, I'll be able to send you free product. Two things happening with Stampin' Up. Today is the 1st of December that I'm publishing this video. So on the 3rd of December, Tombow will be available in Europe again. Yippee! Stampin' Up have successfully managed to get some from Tombow Europe. So we're really pleased about that. Thank you, Stampin' Up. And also on 3rd of December will be the year-end closeout sale, where Stampin' Up will be reducing a lot of the products that are in the Christmas catalogue. So there'd be bargains to be had. The best bargains will sell out really quickly, so do get onto the link to my shop. If you're one of my customers or would like to be one of my customers, click the link of my shop on the 3rd of December and get over there and order what it is that you'd really like to have. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.